What is happening?
You know what? It got to this point where, with the medical staff, it's like they own Nelson Mandela. They call the shots when it comes to him. Who sees him, you don't see him, and all that. And it's actually sad because it felt for me, and I still do, that they've put him right back into prison again at this old age. Where for me, he should have been engaging with his peers, the people of his age group, like the Ahmed Katrara and him, Sophie de Bruyn and him, Advocate Bezos and him. That's the people that should frequent him, come have a cup of tea. I mean, he was by himself. He didn't get these kind of visitors that I would believe that would have made a difference in this late stage of his life.
So are you saying he is lonely?
Of course he's lonely. Come on, it's a given. You could see it, you could sense it. The people that work with him, I mean, they'll be lying to say that they didn't see it. That you could pick it up. Because at the end of the day, this medical personnel that is there, it's not that Nelson Mandela know them. It's not that they are his friends. They would like maybe to believe that they are so close that they get regard Madiba as a... We can't... Madiba will never be our friend. We work with him. It's our duty that we... You can't get to the level, to that personal level, to believe that he belongs to you. Of course, you could sense it. You know what? I could sit with Madiba for hours, on a one-on-one basis, without saying a word. Just the mere fact that you're there, your presence. And that, I think, was what he needed in this late stage of his life.
You've been with him for 12 years. You love him.
Of course, come on. I've been with him. I'm 12 years in the service. And for me, to see what they've done, I mean, come on. I can tell you now, between me and you, I don't even have a long walk to freedom signed by Madiba. I know, I don't have one. There's no one that was addressed to me. They have been hijacking this old man to sign books for photo opportunities. Photos with Madiba's guests, come on. If somebody comes to see Madiba, it's not your time and your place to take photos with that person. That person never came there for you. The same nonsense happened in Kuru when the Hillary Clinton, Secretary of State of America, was down there. They took the gap, they took a photo opportunity with her. For me personally, maybe people will say I'm out of it. It's wrong.
So describe your relationship with Mandela.
You know what? I have very, very personal moments with Madiba. And I think some of those words I will, at the end of the day, take to my grave. Things that were said between us, some of the things that happened to him. Maybe I can relate to one. We were driving in the car and Grasa was speaking on the phone. Portuguese, of course. And then Madiba is very fluent in Afrikaans. So we started speaking Afrikaans, the two of us. So when eventually she put the phone down, she asked me, Shaun, what Madiba saying? So he just told me in Afrikaans, don't say anything. That's the kind of person that he is. And when she carried on, she said, no, Mom, we're talking about the wedding, we're talking about the rugby. But I think the point he wanted to get across was, don't speak the foreign tongue well, we are all together here. But that's just the person that he was.
How would you describe his health?
For a 94-year-old person? Yes, he's not, I'll put it maybe this way. Madiba is old. And we all have to accept that. He will never be with us forever. And it goes with his age. The reports that they make about his medical condition, about his lungs and all that, I would like to believe it goes with that kind of age that he's at.
But you've seen him. How was he prior to his hospitalization?
Oh, fine. He was by himself. He was still up, sitting down, watching TV. He was okay. He used to sit down at the bottom in the lounge at the house. I haven't seen him now since he's been in hospital, so I honestly won't know.
But his memory is not what it used to be.
No, his short-term memory is really is. That's why I say I don't even think he knows the people that he's around him. And the memory is not really his memory. He has gone back really.
So what happened on Saturday in the early hours of the morning?
Okay, he was taken to hospital because of the fact that there was a problem with him, the breathing side of him, and then He's like, I'm not a medical person, so I honestly won't know. He was just like, he was taken to hospital. It was decided that Mrs. Marshall actually cancelled a trip to London. So I would like to believe it was of a serious nature.
We understand he went into cardiac arrest, that he had to be resuscitated.
No, I'll be lying to you if I have to get to that level on the I would like not to get involved on a medical opinion when it comes to him.
What are they telling you though? I mean, let's not talk about it in medical terms. I mean, he was in a bad way.
Yeah, that he wasn't well. That he honestly wasn't well.
And now he's had surgery. What have you heard of how he's doing now?
No, the last I heard is that he was breathing on his own. And like I said, but this is hearsay. Let me not, if I was there personally, like I used to be in the past, I would have most probably been able to make a better assessment of what he's like now. I haven't been there, so I'll be lying to you if I have to. But like we said, Madiba is old. He won't be with us forever.
And what are your colleagues telling you who are there now?
The first call I got today was about this article in today's newspaper, of course. And they've asked me, Bacho, why didn't you take the route of opening a grievance? But then again, we know the police and how they do their things. And yes, it wasn't a spur of the moment thing for me to come out and speak about this. Yes, I got support out there. Let me not lie about it, there is, but I would like to believe I'll get some flack from the top structure, but then again, I have to go with the flow.
Mm. And in terms of how Madiba is now in hospital?
I would like to believe better than what he was a week ago.
Better meaning what? I mean, it was serious.
Yes, he's still serious, but not maybe as serious as what he was last week on Saturday.
You've got colleagues there who work in there, or people that you know.
That is correct.
And what are they saying to
you know what, I don't want to expose him by going through that route and have a situation where the things I'm going to say here be contributed to some people that are there and get them into trouble as well. On our side, he is stable. On what they have told me, that he isn't what he was like last week, but he's still serious.
Can you, Shaun, just take us through the last few months, what kind of life Nelson Mandela is living?
From my side, like I said yesterday, a very lonely life. When I say lonely, because of the people that think that they owe him, because of the restrictions that have been put in place for people not to see him. That is not Nelson Mandela. Mandela was a people's person. He thrived on the fact that people was around him, especially kids. And to be dealt with the way they've been dealing with him. You know what? Actually, if you sit still there, the world will judge them one day. Make no mistake. I'm not talking about our country and the people. The people will be the judge of it. Madiba was not Nelson Mandela this last couple of months, please. And let somebody prove me wrong.
When you say that, what do you mean?
He was hardly there. The memory was gone. He will sit there, fall off to sleep, like any elderly person will do. But that interaction with other human beings wasn't there.
Did he have to be assisted a lot, fed?
Yes, they do that. Like any elderly person. I mean, being washed, being cared on that level. I think it affected him in the sense that, because he's such a strong character, to get to that level where you have to be assisted. I mean, come on. And I'm not ungrateful here. I don't want to be 94. It's not my call to make, but honestly, what I've seen on that level, Madiba was a proud human being. And yes, one day I will tell the world what he have told these so-called medical people of his in my presence.
What has he told them? What has he told the medical people?
He saw at them. And that is painful, coming from a person of his stage, because the frustration that was within him and how they have dealt with him. I saw it with my own eyes. I didn't.
What did you see?
He saw it. When he gets frustrated with him, he saws them. And I mean,
What was he upset about?
the way they were moving, or they want him to do. You know what? They got to this level where they enforced themselves. We're going to do this now. We're going to do this now. Tata, we're going to move your leg this way. Come on. Talk to him like he's some small kid. At that moment, there was nothing wrong with his brain or his memory, and he will tell them in no uncertain terms. There was this nice word Afrikaans that he used, foot check. And it's, for me, you know what, I'm Afrikaans, so I know. It's painful. I don't know if they didn't take it in that light.
What does footsack mean?
Yeah, like bugger off. Do you understand? Get out of my face. And that's why I say they should just leave him. Let him be.
Thank you.
That's me.
Thank you, Shaun.
I've already said more than what I was supposed to say.
I think the question is, do you think he's going to make it through this?
Personally, I hope so, but I don't think so. My wish, and I said this last year, on his 94th birthday when we were in Kunu, my words actually was, when we were all there together, he's going to cruise to 95. As I'm sitting here today, a month and a couple of days before his birthday, I doubt. I most probably get some flack for this, but that's how I feel.
Thank you.
Last year I said he'll cruise to 95. I'm not so sure anymore. I did that in Kunu.
Yeah.
I got this ability to say no, and I think I've learned from he respected me more for that, for being able to look up to you and say, unfortunately that one I won't be doing.
Shaun, do you think Nelson Mandela knows what's going on right now?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't know what's going on. But he must remember he's gone. He doesn't know what is happening at this specific moment. He doesn't know.
And how would he feel about it if he did?
He would have never agreed to all these things that are going on now. He would never. That is not the person that he was. If he was at his full positive, there was no way. I don't even think he would have allowed himself to be taken to hospital. Let me be very honest with that. That is how I feel.
He would want to go to Kunu.
He would want to go to Kunu. He would have wanted to go home. He did that in the past. He did it how many times? And then people will lie to him and say, no, Tata, we are going tomorrow, or the plane is not ready. They had all these brilliant excuses. And I would just like look at it, but guys, why do you lie to him? He wants to go home. Yes, there's protocols and things in place, or how to get him there and what should be done, but that's our job. We should have just respected his wishes to go home.
Do you think his wishes are not being respected right now?
How can it be? He's not where he wanted to be. He wanted to be in Kunu. That's where he wanted to be. So how are we respecting his wishes by having him in a hospital in Pretoria? And if he wanted to be in Kunu, we could have taken all the medical stuff to Kunu. We could have flown in the best doctors. You know, you can't put money value on the life of Nelson Mandela. The same hospital ward that they have now, they could have had it at home. The doctors can be flown in, they can sleep, there's hotels in Kunu. Don't let us put money value. We can pay these doctors. If we can't pay them, we get people from overseas or wherever in the world that will gladly say, let's take Nelson Mandela home. We will look after him on that medical level. Why do you have to have him in the Pretoria hospital? He wants to be at home. That was his wish. And let anybody differ with me to say that's not Mandela's wish. That was his wish to go home to Kunu. We can set that place up the same exact way that ward is set up in Pretoria.
Because you've got all the hospital facilities.
Yes. Those things, whatever they need on the medical side, I think it's one call to the president and it will be done. So why must we keep him in a hospital here in Pretoria and not have him at his home, where he wants to be?
Yeah.
Because that was his wish, to be at home.
But now his wish has always been to go home, right?
That was his wish. I mean, he said it how many a times? I want to go to Kuno. I want to go to Kuno. And then, like I said, people will lie and say, no, we have to get the plane.
So are his wishes being respected?
No, it's not being respected. How can it be respected if that was his wish? We should have taken him home. And if people tell you on a medical front, yes, but the facilities is here in Johannesburg and all that, because it's him. Like I said, you can't put money value on Madiba's life. You move the facilities to his home in Kuno. You move the personnel to his home in Kuno. That is where he wants to be.